Have you ever woken up at 60 years old and realized with a sinking feeling that you have almost nothing saved for retirement? Maybe you check your bank account and see a few $1,000s at most. Maybe you look at your retirement fund and it's basically empty, and panic sets in. Where did the time go? How did this happen? And most importantly, what do you do now? If this is you, take a deep breath, because today we're going to walk through 12 specific practical strategies that can help you build financial security even when you're starting late, really late. This isn't going to be vague advice like save more or spend less. These are concrete actions you can take starting today. Some of them are creative. Some might surprise you. But all of them have helped real people in real situations turn things around. And here's the most important thing I want you to hear right at the beginning. You are not alone. And it is not too late. Thousands of people have faced this exact situation and found ways forward. You can too. Before we dive in, hit that like button if you're ready to take control of your financial future. And drop a comment telling me, where are you in your retirement journey? Are you starting from scratch or trying to catch up? Your honesty might help someone else feel less alone. Now let's get started. Number 1, accept reality without shame and know you're not alone. The first step isn't financial at all. It's emotional. You need to accept where you are without drowning in shame or regret. Yes, you wish you'd started earlier. Yes, you made mistakes. Yes, you can look back and see 1,000 moments where different choices would have led to different outcomes. But you can't change the past. You can only change what happens next. And here's something that might surprise you. You are far from alone in this situation. Millions of Americans over 60 have little to nothing saved for retirement. Some worked hard their whole lives but faced unexpected setbacks. Medical bills, divorces, job losses, helping adult children, caring for aging parents. Others just didn't understand the importance of saving early. Or they thought Social Security would be enough. Or life kept happening and retirement savings kept getting pushed to someday. Whatever your story, the shame doesn't help you. What helps is clarity, action, and determination. Martha, 62, told me she spent 2 years beating herself up about having no retirement savings. She said, I wasted 2 precious years feeling terrible instead of doing something about it. Don't be like me. Accept it and move forward. So right now, today, make peace with where you are. Forgive yourself for the past and commit to making the next 10 or 15 or 20 years count. Because if you're 60 and healthy, you potentially have decades ahead of you. And what you do in the next 5 to 10 years can make an enormous difference. You're not starting from zero. You're starting from here. And here is exactly where you need to begin. Number 2, take complete inventory of your situation. You can't make a plan without knowing exactly where you stand. So it's time to take inventory. Complete, honest, thorough inventory. First, what income do you have? Are you still working? How much do you earn? When can you claim Social Security and how much will it be? Do you have a pension? Any rental income? Anything else? Second, what assets do you have? Maybe you don't have a retirement account, but do you own your home? What's it worth? Do you have any other property? Any savings at all? Life insurance with cash value? Anything of significant value you could sell if needed? Third, what are your monthly expenses? And I mean really know them. Not a guess, actual numbers. Write all of this down. Create a simple spreadsheet. Or just use paper and pencil. But get it all in front of you in black and white. Robert, 64, said this was the hardest part for him. He'd been avoiding looking at the numbers because he was afraid of what he'd find. But once he actually did the math, he said it wasn't as terrifying as he'd imagined. And more importantly, he finally had clarity about what needed to happen. Once you know your numbers, you can create a realistic timeline. If you're 60, you have 5 years before 65 and 10 years before 70. You can accomplish a tremendous amount in 5 or 10 years if you're focused. Your greatest asset right now isn't money in the bank. It's your ability to earn income. If you can work, you have power. If you can control your expenses, you have power. Those two things together can transform your situation. Number 3, track every penny for 30 days. Here's where most people get stuck. They think they know where their money goes, but they don't. Not really. So here's what you do. For the next 30 days, track every single penny you spend. And I mean everything. Coffee, groceries, utilities, subscriptions, gas, that impulse purchase at the checkout line, everything. You can use a notebook. You can use a spreadsheet. You can use an app. It doesn't matter. What matters is complete honesty for 30 full days. This isn't about judgment. It's about awareness, because you cannot change what you don't see. Helen, 61, did this exercise and was shocked. She said, "I thought I was being careful with money. But when I tracked everything, I found I was spending over $300 a month on things I didn't even value. Subscription services I forgot about. Eating out when I had food at home. Little purchases that added up to big money. That's $3,600 a year. In 10 years, that's $36,000. Invested wisely, it could grow to even more." The point isn't to never spend money on anything enjoyable. The point is to spend intentionally, to keep money for the things that truly matter and stop bleeding cash on things that don't. Number 4, slash your biggest expenses creatively. Once you know where your money is going, look at your biggest expenses. For most people, that's housing, transportation, and food. Now here's where you need to get creative. And I mean really creative. Could you downsize your home? Could you move to a lower cost area? Could you rent out a room? Could you eliminate a car payment by driving something older and paid off? Let me share a story. James and Patricia were 61 with almost nothing saved. James was still working, but Patricia had health issues that prevented her from working. Their biggest expense was their mortgage on a 4-bedroom house. They got creative. They sold the house and moved into a smaller condo that cost half as much. The difference in their monthly payment was $1,200. Over 10 years, that's $144,000. But they went even further. They were empty nesters. So they rented out their second bedroom to a quiet graduate student for $600 a month. Now they were saving $1,800 every month compared to before. In 5 years, they saved over $100,000. They went from panicking about retirement to having a solid foundation. Another couple in their early 60s moved in with their adult daughter who was a single mom. They helped with childcare and household expenses. They paid rent, but far less than they'd been paying. And everyone benefited. The daughter got help with her child, the grandparents got time with their grandchild, and dramatically lower expenses. I'm not saying everyone should or could do these exact things, but I am saying you need to think outside the box. Question every assumption. What if you lived somewhere cheaper? What if you had a roommate? What if you radically downsized? The sacrifices you make in the next 5 to 10 years can set you up for the next 20 or 30. Number 5, plan to work longer than you thought. For generations, 65 was the magic retirement age. But that's outdated thinking. People are living longer. 65 isn't old anymore. 70 is the new 65. And if you're 60 with no savings, working until 70 or even 75 might not just be smart, it might be necessary. But here's the thing. Working longer doesn't have to mean doing the same job you hate for another decade. Maybe you retire from your current career and find something completely different. Something you actually enjoy. Something part-time that brings in income without burning you out. Frank, 63, retired from his stressful corporate job and started working part-time at a garden center. He said, "I make less money, but I'm happier. And the income plus the delayed Social Security means I'll actually be okay." Working longer gives you multiple advantages. You're earning income, which means you can save more. You're delaying Social Security, which means your benefit will be higher when you do claim it. And you're shortening the number of years your savings need to last. If you work until 70 instead of 62, that's 8 fewer years your nest egg needs to cover. That's enormous. Number 6, maximize Social Security strategically. Social Security isn't enough to live on comfortably for most people, but it's a crucial foundation, and the difference between claiming it at 62 versus 70 is massive. If you claim at 62, you get the smallest benefit. If you wait until 70, your benefit can be up to 76% higher. That's not a small difference. That's life-changing. Let's say your benefit at full retirement age is $2,000 a month. If you claim at 62, you might only get $1,400. But if you wait until 70, you could get $2,400 or more. That's an extra $1,000 every single month for the rest of your life. And it's inflation adjusted. Now I understand. If you're 60 with no savings, waiting until 70 feels impossible. But this is where working longer becomes critical. If you can keep earning income until 70, you let your Social Security benefit grow to its maximum. And if you're married, the strategies become even more important. The higher earner should almost always delay as long as possible because that locks in a higher survivor benefit. This is complicated stuff. Consider talking to a financial advisor or using online tools to run different scenarios. The right Social Security strategy can be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars over your lifetime. Number 7, get physically healthy right now. This might seem off topic in a retirement planning discussion, but it's actually one of the most important financial decisions you can make. Being unhealthy is expensive. Really expensive. Medical bills, medications, treatments, and beyond the direct costs, poor health limits your ability to work and earn income. If you're 60 and healthy, you could work productively for another 10 or 15 years. If you're 60 and in poor health, you might be forced into early retirement with nothing saved. Start moving your body. Walk every day. Strength train. Eat better. Lose weight if you need to. Manage your stress. Get enough sleep. These aren't just health tips. They're financial strategies. Thomas, 62, was overweight and pre-diabetic. His doctor warned him he was headed for serious problems. Thomas made changes, started walking daily, cut out processed foods, lost 40 pounds. 2 years later, he said, "I feel 20 years younger. I have energy to work." My medical costs dropped dramatically, and I genuinely believe making these changes added years to my working life and probably to my actual life. Your health is an investment in your future earning potential and in lower future costs. Take it seriously. Number 8, build an emergency fund first. I know this sounds backwards. You have no retirement savings and I'm telling you to save for emergencies first? Yes, exactly. Here's why. If you start saving for retirement but have no emergency fund, the first time your car breaks down, or your roof leaks, or you have a medical bill, you'll have to raid your retirement account. and you'll pay penalties and taxes and lose momentum. So start small. Save $1,000 in an emergency fund, just $1,000. It's not enough for every emergency, but it covers most minor ones. Once you have that, keep building it. Aim for 3 to 6 months of basic expenses. It seems impossible when you're starting from nothing, but remember, small amounts add up. $50 a week is $2,600 a year. In 2 years, you'd have over $5,000. That's a solid emergency cushion. Number 9, take advantage of catch-up contributions. If you're over 50, the government lets you contribute more to retirement accounts than younger people. These are called catch-up contributions. For a 401k, if your employer offers one, you can contribute an extra $7,500 per year beyond the normal limit. For an IRA, you can add an extra $1,000. I know what you're thinking. I can barely pay my bills. How am I supposed to contribute thousands to retirement? This is where the expense cutting from earlier comes in. If you've reduced your housing costs by $1,000 a month, put that straight into retirement. If you're working a side job and earning an extra $500 a month, save it all. Every dollar you put into a traditional 401k or IRA reduces your taxable income now, so there's an immediate tax benefit. And then it grows tax-deferred. Even if you can only contribute $200 a month, that's $2,400 a year. Over 10 years with modest growth, that could become $40,000 or more. It's not nothing. Start somewhere. Number 10, consider a reverse mortgage carefully. Reverse mortgages have a bad reputation. And some of that is deserved because there have been predatory products and bad actors. But modern reverse mortgages, specifically home equity conversion mortgages, have consumer protections and can be useful tools if used correctly. Here's the basic idea. If you're at least 62 and you own your home with significant equity, a reverse mortgage lets you convert some of that equity into cash without selling the home or making monthly payments. You could eliminate your mortgage payment entirely. Imagine how much that would free up every month. Or you could set up a line of credit to cover emergencies or supplement your income. This isn't right for everyone. There are costs involved, and you need to understand all the details. But for some people in specific situations, it can be a game changer. If you have 50% equity in your home and you're at least 62, it's worth learning about. Talk to a qualified advisor. Read books on the topic. Understand both the benefits and the risks. Number 11, never stop learning about money. Financial literacy isn't taught in most schools. Most of us learned about money through trial and error, and many of us made expensive errors. But it's never too late to learn. Read books about personal finance, The Richest Man in Babylon, The Simple Path to Wealth, Your Money or Your Life. Learn about tax strategies. Understand the difference between traditional and Roth accounts. Learn how compound interest works. Understand basic investing. The more you know, the better decisions you make. And better decisions compound over time, just like money does. Dorothy, 65, said she'd never read a financial book in her life. But when she realized her situation, she started reading everything she could find. She said, "I wish I'd learned this 30 years ago." But learning it now is better than never learning it. Knowledge is power, and financial knowledge is financial power. Number 12, maintain faith and determination. This last one isn't a strategy, it's a mindset, but mindset matters. When you're 60 with no savings, it's easy to feel defeated, to think what's the point, to believe it's too late. But it's not too late. Not even close. You are more capable than you think. You are stronger than you realize. And you can do hard things. Yes, you'll need to make sacrifices. Yes, you'll need to work when others are retiring. Yes, you'll need to make choices that aren't easy. But you can do this. People have overcome worse. People have started with less and built something meaningful. There's a quote I love. There is no chance, no destiny, no fate that can circumvent or hinder or control the firm resolve of a determined soul. Memorize that. Put it on your bathroom mirror. Say it to yourself when things get hard. You have power. You have options. And you have time. Use all three. So there you have it. 12 strategies for building retirement security even when you're starting at 60 with nothing saved. Accept reality without shame. Take complete inventory. Track every expense. Slash your biggest costs creatively. Plan to work longer. Maximize Social Security. Get physically healthy. Build an emergency fund. Use catch-up contributions. Consider a reverse mortgage carefully. Never stop learning. And maintain faith and determination. These aren't easy steps, but they're possible steps. And they work. You can't change the past, but you can absolutely change your future. The next 10 years of your life are going to happen whether you take action or not. You might as well make them count. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these 12 strategies resonates most? Which one will you start with? Drop a comment below and share your plan. Making it public makes you more likely to follow through. If this video helped you, please hit that like button and share it with someone who needs to hear this message. And subscribe to our channel for more practical advice about thriving after 60. Remember, it's not about where you've been, it's about where you're going. And you're going to be okay. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.